800 most common Depo phrases. A letter dated, a police officer, a police report, a stop sign, a street light, about the about the time, after the accident, after the impact, after the incident, after you received alcoholic beverage, alcoholic nature. Am I correct? Am I right? I did. And did you believe? And did you receive? And did you say? And did you in fact? And have? And he? And how? And I believe, and I know, and I'm, and it's your, and tell me, and that's, and then, what are, and what's the, and when did, and why did you, and you believe, and you said, and you testified that. Any conversations, any of the individuals, any portion of, any reason to believe, any specific, anybody else, anyone else, anyone other than, anything else, anything like that, anything more, anything specific, appears to be, approximately how long, approximately how many, are there any, are you asking, are you aware, are you complaining of, are you familiar, are you finished, and you the, around the time, as a matter of fact, as a result, as best you, as far as I know, as I said, as I stated, as it relates to this accident, as it relates to this incident, as long as of, as soon as we sit here today, as you said, as you sit here today, as you stated, asking you, asked and answered, at any time, at or about, at some point, at that moment, at that point, at that point in time, at that time, at the, at the beginning, at the bottom, at the end, at the intersection, at the point, at the same, at the time, at the top, at this point, at this time, at what point, attorney client, back on the record, based on, Bates stamp number, Bates stamped number, before the accident, before the impact, being told that, best of my recollection, board certified, bottom right hand, by the way, by the name of, calling your attention to, can you describe, can you explain, can you give, can you repeat that, can you tell me, can you tell us, center lane, could have been, could it be, could it have been, could you give, could you please, could you repeat, could you turn to, curriculum vitae, did anyone, did he ask, did he tell, did it improve, did not know, did the officer, did they ever, did you authorize, did you believe, did you contact, did you discuss that, did you ever inform, did you ever make, did you ever see, did you ever tell, did you have, did you know, did you meet, did you mention, did you obtain, did you recall, did you receive, did you recognize, did you remember, did you say, did you see, did you see anything, did you see that, did you seek medical attention, did you speak with, did you take, did you understand my question, didn't know, directing your attention, do you believe, do you ever see, do you have an estimate, do you have any idea, do you have any knowledge, do you have any recollection, do you know how many, do you know how much, do you know when, do you know whether, do you live, do you mean, do you recall the signature, do you recall when, do you recognize the handwriting, do you remember, do you see, do you still have pain, do you understand, do you want, does anybody else, does she, does it not, does that indicate, does that refresh, don't want you to guess, driver's license number, during that time frame, during the previous, during the time, during this time, ever being told, ever tell you, excuse me, face to face, fair to say, file a claim, finish my question, first of all, first time, for example, for how long, for instance, for the record, for what reason, from the, gestures or nods of the head. Give an estimate. Give me an estimate. Give your best testimony. Go ahead. Going back to, going east, going north, going south, going west. Green light. Had you been? Had you ever? Had you ever been? Had you ever seen? Had you had? Had you seen? Has anyone ever told you? Has it improved? Have you? Have you been? Have you ever? Have you ever been? Have you ever had? Have you ever seen? Have you ever treated with? Have you finished reviewing? Have you had? Have you had the opportunity? Have you had to? Have you seen? He is, he said. Headaches or nausea? Heading east, heading north, heading south, heading west. Heart attack. Home address. How about? How did you? How did you injure? How does that? How long? How many? How many conversations? How many times? How much? How much damage? How would you describe? I believe. I believe it was. I believe so. I believe that. I can. I see. I can't believe. I can't recall. I can't recognize. I can't remember. I can't see. I can't understand. I do not. I don't believe. I don't have. I don't know. I don't mean. I don't really. I don't recall. I don't recognize. I don't remember. I don't think. I don't understand. I don't want. I forget. I have. I have no further questions. I have no idea. I have nothing further. I know. I may have. I mean. I might have. I object. I recall. I recognize. I remember. I said. I think. I thank you. I understand. I want. I was. I will object. I'd have to guess. I'd like for you. I'd like you to, if any, if I remember, if I understand, if I would, if it was, if that, if they were, if you can, if you ever, if you're asking. I'll show you. I'll stipulate. I'm going. I'm not going. I'm not real sure. I'm not really sure. I'm not saying. I'm not sure. I'm placing before you. I'm saying. I'm sorry. I'm trying. I'm trying to remember. I'm trying to think. Immediately following. In a letter. In an email. In any way. In general. In January of. In my opinion. In order. In regard to. In relation to. In relationship to. Insofar as. In that photograph. In the afternoon, in the beginning, in the center lane, in the evening, in the left-hand lane, in the morning, in the number 1 lane, in the right-hand lane, in your opinion, in your own words.